Okay, welcome to the Monday Advantage. This is JD, and let's get your kickstart in your week. People do what they do because they have nothing more compelling to do. You see, you'll do what you do unless you have something more compelling to do. So unless you have something more compelling to do, guess what will take over this moment? The past. That's right. Whatever it is that you've been programmed to do, your traditions, that'll always intercept with what you're doing unless you have something more compelling to do. Now, most of us, a lot of us, have just been conditioned as a consumer, right? Since we don't have something more compelling to do, time is like a vacuum. It's just genetically engineered to suck us dry. It'll get us involved in non-essentials. Yeah. In fact, we'll become a consumer, waiting to be entertained, going to the next thing, putting our attention on this, as if something is constantly holding and dangling our attention. But is that really good enough? You know, that way of being, that way of acting, what happens to your quality of being? What happens to your sense of fullness? What happens to your sense of potential when you have something more compelling to do? It's a little bit like a dog. If I don't give it bigger business to attend to, then it's going to poop all over the house and chase trucks. And that's kind of what your mind will do unless it has bigger business to attend to. You see, when you start to set your mind on a challenge, on an aspiration, on a dream that you really seek to create, then it awakens you. All the skills that have been lying dormant in you suddenly have to show up and work on behalf of those goals. The truth is, you'll never really know yourself until you really set on what you want to create that you don't know how to do yet. And maybe it's that time in your life when it is important to take the kind of risks. In other words, it's more risky to stay with pooping all over the house and chasing trucks instead of focusing on what you want to create and what deeply matters to you. You'll have a kind of involvement and engagement that you can't have when you're just focusing on whatever's happening, whatever's showing up, whatever there is to react to, whatever could buy your attention. That's a waste of a life. You have so much in you to give. You have all these potential powers within you. Why don't we use them? Why don't we harness what's most useful about you? And how we're going to do that is by really looking deep inside your heart about what really matters to you. That overrides everything. It overrides every other quality about you. It doesn't guarantee your success, but what it will do is shift your orientation to the present moment. You got a place to go. And having a place to go makes all the difference. People do what they do because they have nothing more compelling to do. Maybe that's why they've always done what they've done. And if they expect anything different, that's the definition of insanity. So this week, consider what you really want to create. Don't stand adjacent to what you've always done. It doesn't have to match everything you've done. That's just limited thinking. Stay true to your heart. What do you really want to create? Today, what do you want to bring into being? 90 days, what do you want to bring into being? A year from now, what do you see? A vision is a lovely image of the future that you seek to create. I encourage you this week to turn that vision into the rudder that guides all of your actions. Happy visioning.